Dr. Rohantha, let me ask you. Now, we keep going around human rights, freedom of expression and all that, but what will be the practical impact on the economy, on commerce? For example, let's take one of the huge areas in law, trademarks. Trademark disputes are everywhere. But in this case, where there is a complete violation of the principles of natural justice, what happens if one company goes and complains that its trademark is being violated by another one? What would happen in such a situation? Or to simplify it even more, one company says we are number one and the other one says no, we are number one. Now what happens? Does the company website get taken down?
Which is, Naresh, the exact challenge that we have on this bill. I mean, look at section 15. It says any person, whether in or outside Sri Lanka, who communicates falsehood, voluntarily causes disturbance to any lawfully engaged performance of religious worship. Now, 65% of the tourists who come to Sri Lanka goes to Dalda Maligawa. And Ambika talked about how you define a fact, how you can, they would explain and give comments based on a perception of what they have, which is also part of a definition of a fact. So, you talked about one, I am giving you another option. What happens if he or she gives a fact and then you find that it is going to be against religious worship and religious ceremonies? Do we arrest the person? Because it says here, either description of term exceeding 3 years or to find both such imprisonment, fine in the event of second or subsequent conviction, such term of will be both for some people may be doubled. Now the question is, how does tourism exist in this? Even before we go to IP, intellectual property, the question is about, you know that tourism is large. We know that we are looking at people to come to Sri Lanka. We have touched 1 million tourists coming into Sri Lanka today. Now we wait to understand their views, to see as to what the brand drivers are of a particular property. What are their category drivers? And then how the property needs to fashion themselves based on this. Now if they are not going to give you feedback, and we know that TripAdvisor and all the different blogs want to give their own perspective, because we get feedback from this. We immediately go and talk to the customer tomorrow in the morning, but then this time they are scared to give their perspective, because